Can they still fit the Omni into that lineup? It's kind of hard, isn't it?
PSG.
Yeah.
If no, not really. No, it's going to be some like awkward 5 Omni with a 4 Shadow Demon. It technically would work. Like 4 Shadow Demon is fine, but then you have a 5 but maybe.
5 Darks.
Just Nisha's
Could do support Lesh. Not that you want to in this game, but you
yeah, they could. And then
there's the Spectre.
Classic
There's
secret.
that win.
There we go.
Yeah. Hard carry for Nisha.
I also think with the Bat and the Earthshaker and even the SF roaming around, you're going to have enough kill potential. Spec can horn in if needs be. I like that.
These fights are going to be so scary for PSG in the mid game, especially because Leshrak doesn't want to buy BKB with the build currently. Only Sven's going to potentially buy one. And then you have Golem. Ooh. It's very scary.
A 10th pick junk.
And PSG just want to respond to this Spectre and go, if we win these early fights, we're going to use this Leshrak, we're going to use this Jug, and we're going to just take all your building. So, yeah, this is a good lineup from PSG, but again, it's a secret classic, and if they can survive the 25 minutes like they usually do,
it's very fighty, Ted, isn't it?
I hope so, but I think like Rob's right that Secret they're not going to want to fight too early, but when the fights do come, they're going to be big.
Yeah, and they have plenty of options in here as well with the Bat as well.
Exactly, yeah, a lot of pick-off potential, and
to delay them long enough for Nisha to come online, and then the big fights start, and then Secret have a very strong lineup for that. As do PSG. It's going to be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're hoping for a bit of a brawl in our final game. This one will determine whether Secret reach their 6th grand final at ESL 1 or whether PSG LGD can make it their first ever. Let's find out how it goes with game number 3.
All series long, PSG LGD has tried to figure out how to be able to win the mid game against Team Secret. They tried winning the laning phase at the first game, managed to come back into game 2, just got whomped by Team Secret. But this time around, game 3, feel like PSG LGD has gone all the eggs into the mid game basket. We've got a core Lesh, we've got a core Juggernaut, which we don't see too often right now, simply because, you know, he's not the best late game carry, but he's great mid game.
Yeah, and we do have the Sven, who is 18-6 at this tournament. That is quite the win rate.
That is very impressive, but most of those have been carry Svens. This one is going to be a little bit of a switcheroo. PSG LGD have dropped something a little interesting here. Xnova's going to be playing the Sven. I assumed it was going to be Sven Darkseer, but FY is playing the Shadow Demon. So I don't know if they're just having the supports. They're going to have their 5 with the Darkseer at the start.
They should still have Sven Darkseer, I think.
Yeah, they should, right?
Yeah, that lane to me makes the most sense by far. They just have these two I don't really quite understand if they would do it the other way around.
Who knows? They could even aggro tri-lane, as we do have a Juggernaut against a Bat Rider, which is great counter pick. Shouldn't really be overly threatened by sticky napalm like many safe lane carries are.
And the early smoke aggression here, as they're going to go to the left, and they might just run into Yapzor, who's got the high ground and should be perfectly fine. The smoke breaks, they know something's up. And who will be the first team is Yapzor that says it first.
Little bit of a greeting to PSG LGD. May not have expected this little wraparound from them, but it was still in good position to get away, especially with the boots first. Every single one of these smoke firsts that I've seen, they very rarely do we get the first blood. Seems like teams are always very well set up on high ground areas.
That, of course, coming from our observer, JJ.
I don't know if they're just having the supports. They're going to have their 5 with the Darkseer at the start.
They should still have Sven Darkseer, I think.
Yeah, they should, right?
Yeah, that lane, to me, makes the most sense by far. You just have these 2 tanky guys that run at you. I don't really quite understand if they would do it the other way around.
Who knows? Trading 2 for 2 bounty runes here. What about our mid matchup? It's going to be Leshrak versus Shadow Fiend. Always very well set up on high ground areas.
And he's going to go for the build, right? He's going to go for the Yule's build. Yeah. The other way around? SD's really good too, because you can't purchase something.
Who knows? Right.
Yule's defensively on the SF doesn't do anything, so the BKB is going to be pretty important here for him.
Good body blocking. Managed to get with the creep wave. Is going to kill all of it. And do a lot of damage to Nisha there as he kind of shows up. And look at FY. He's going to do that thing that we see many supports do at this point. Oh, actually, I thought it was going to be poison, but instead he goes for disruption instead.
Yeah, he denies him some creeps, and SD against Spectre doesn't even feel that bad because of the Desolate.
Yeah.
You actually can potentially just wreck the Spectre. Plus, you're able to save yourself. You spawn more illusions, you run them with you. It's actually quite a nice counter. Plus the break mechanic that you constantly apply onto the Spec.
And the illusions can, in this sort of situation, under the tower, can help you just harass under tower as the illusions tank the tier 1 for you. But FY, he did what he came to do. Just kind of harassed a little bit, leaves lane. Now gonna try and deal with the bottom. Puppy almost dying there, but XNova's quite low. And it looks like XNova's gonna be the one to first die. Puppy with the first blood chalice. Now this is not a surprise to XNova. We saw he had, like, I think the 3rd most deaths on average in the first 10 minutes. He is definitely a very sacrificial 5 position. He's going to be able to win Chalice this creep wave.
They're hoping that they get a free lane up at top, and they know that the Darkseer will recover just fine. So the idea behind it... I thought Zai getting really low here. FY not really going to have any sort of follow-up as Zai already started eating the Tango. But I think what they want to do anyways is keep all the focus on this bottom lane. Don't have the Earthshaker rotate towards this mid lane.
Yeah, that's where things could get really dangerous. We're not expecting Leshrac just to die to raises, but one Fissure and a double raise nuke.
Plus, I think Lesh does fine against SF early. You have kill potential on him too, which is the really annoying part for SF. But SF, with the help of the Earthshaker, of course, can get kills. And that's exactly why YapzOr hanging around this area. It's going to be invised up.
Oh, this could be a massive deal. Fissure's going to go out. There it is. Doesn't give the kill to the SF. Takes it for himself with that Fissure.
And
what a great rotation.
It's got to be so frustrating for Maybe. He wanted that 1v1.
And he's denied that much. The SF getting that free lane for that small period of time now means he's 11-3. Still a big lead for the Leshrac, 16-5, but another Fissure block. As YapzOr returns once again, maybe he's gonna run down river. YapzOr is just gonna try and harass him up as best as possible.
Yeah, but with the south mid one, just chasing him to the left. Here and there, as YapzOr doesn't have a Fissure for another 5 seconds, and XNova's now gonna come in, but he's gonna lay out the stun onto the Shadow Fiend. They shouldn't have enough damage for this. Only level 2 lightning, no ulti. If you go this build cap, it's really hard for you to get kills like that. You have to rely on your level 6. Once you get your level 6 though, kills will come aplenty. You get on top of the SF, he can only short raise you if you land the stun.
You know, I kind of like this 5 position matchup, or rather FY's 4. Shadow Demon against the Batrider. Because as long as you get a stick, right? He's going to spam Sticky Napalm. You're going to spam Shadow Poison. And very, very often, Batrider's not going to feel comfortable fighting you because you're also getting these really big stacks. And if FY actually lands one last one, it might be the kill. It is.
That's a solo kill right there for FY.
And that's why you like the Shadow Demon versus the Batrider. 2-1 is PSG LGD got their first kill on the board. XNova's going to be blocked out there by the Fissure. Puppy tried to get in front of him for some body blocking on the way out as well, but
the double stun. XNova getting a little bit low, but he's pinging. He's gonna fight Puppy, but I feel like he should just run back.
Yeah, the Darkseer is on his way. He's a little close, and he can pop the Mango if he wants to go for the stun. Now Chalice is close enough, might be able to go for it. The Fissure, he's gonna try and separate him. He needs to be able to save Puppy here, and there it is. Blocks out Chalice, who had the Ion Shell on him.
Both supports just wasting each other's time, really. As Zai wants to get this bounty rune. FY trying to deny it, and he in fact will take his own, and this will be a 2-for-2 split.
An early smoke from YapzOr. We don't see too many smokes from Team Secret, but YapzOr is closing in on Soul Ring. If he could get one more kill on maybe Leshrac,
help mid-1 catch up again in CS. It would be a big win, but instead he's going to run to FY, who actually plants a ward, so Yapzor probably got that intel. Bring some items for mid-1. They bring a sentry. Oh, they
yeah, they got it. So they indeed know.
Give it to mid-1 too.
Give him that gold.
They know that as long as he has a good laning phase, right, he should show up in this game pretty strong.
And Xnova gonna run into Puppey here, but still only level 2.
Everyone's just rotating. And look at Xnova, he's just booking it. Straight to mid-1. They do manage to get the disruption. There is going to be the haunt out. Mid-1's going to be hit by the Stormbolt, but Xnova doesn't have any damage himself. FY is going to be eventually run down by Nisha. With the Fatal Bonds on maybe, it made it so the Leshrac just really couldn't commit too much, even as the Sven got the stun on the SF.
It's not the worst trade in the world for them there.
No, the haunt being used, not too bad.
Might just die here. Doesn't actually know he's gonna get healed up though, and Yapzor still sticking around the area. Xnova gonna lead with the stun, the follow-up from the Leshrac.
This also lets them get a potential, a lot of poisons, the long-range disruption, one more poison out, but mid-1, he's already healed enough. Yapzor once again. Just great positioning by him, always being able to get these defensive fissures.
I mean, they know they want to go aggressive on the SF to at least trade out kills to even up maybe's lane, and the Shadow Fiend should be a very easy kill for them, theoretically. So they're gonna run into Chalice here, who...
Chalice actually running through the SF, but to the safety of Xnova, will be fine.
And he's gonna reset just a little bit, but they did use the Haunt just to get the kill onto the Shadow Demon. No other kills were exchanged. And it does mean that the Jug is having a very free lane up at top. Like we talked about, it's impossible for the Batrider. It's unless Ame really messes up, it should be impossible for him to die.
What do you think about this support Sven so far? Every single time I look at one of these ganks, I always think to myself, like, man, an Earth Spirit or Spirit Breaker or something would have provided a lot more damage.
What they're probably trying to do is bait Secret into thinking it was going to be the carry Sven.
Yeah.
Switch things around. They last pick the Jug. So you have the hard counter to the Batrider as well. But it's a bit risky. You're hiding your draft at the cost of having a hero that you don't really want to have.
Bit of a suboptimal support hero, perhaps, as they are going to go on to Nisha. A lot of damage coming out from that Ion Shell, but the Fissure with the Fatal Bonds means Xnova is actually dropping really fast here for the Omni Slash. Sticks on Nisha all the way, but all that healing.
And it actually ends up on the worst possible side.
Yeah, if he could have stuck on the Spectre, if the last bounce had stuck on him, he would have been able to get a spin, and perhaps Nisha would have died, but...
Yeah, Nisha definitely would have died. He had no dagger.
At least PSG LGD have created the space to maybe take this tier 1 tower.
That was so unlucky.
Yeah.
It was very lucky, and then it became pretty terrible for him, as Ame did rotate down for this.
Gonna try and get the disruption, but PSG LGD, I feel like they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves. The Batrider is now rotated to the tier 1. He's going to try and cut off some of these heroes. He doesn't have the lasso, but he can slow him down with a sticky napalm. FY, he's definitely going to be caught here. Disruption going out. They're really going to try and fight this one. Ame showing up with the spin, only doing a limited amount of damage. Now they do have the lasso. He picked up level 7 off of that kill. That means they're going to be able to maybe catch Ame, but they actually can't do enough. And now, maybe he's here to be able to run down Yapzor. That's going to be one. Haunt out, doing a lot of damage, so maybe he dies underneath the tier 1 tower. Nisha didn't even have to commit for it. He goes for the back line. He's going to go for Xnova. One more swing. Down the he gets it. He does. A long-range swing from Nisha finishes off the tanky Sven.
This Juggernaut doesn't have TP, so they're on the hunt. Healing Ward does go down, but looks like Yapzor not going to try to cut off his retreat, and instead going to just farm it up a little bit.
It seemed like an okay situation for PSG LGD before they went for this long wraparound from FY. I mean, they were just desperate to find a hero, but I felt like they could have taken the tier 1 there.
I mean, this feels like the story of all 3 games. They get a little bit over-aggressive under tier 1 towers, and Secret responds. Despite all that, they were still able to win game number 1, but game number 2, Nisha.
Oh, the split earth is just a bit shy. Maybe he felt like he wasn't close enough to hit it off the disruption, tried to go for the lightning slow first.
They will secure themselves the bounty.
With the spin, only doing a limited amount of damage. It's great for PSG LGD, as they're trying to cut down the small net worth lead that Secret has right now by taking towers, taking map control.
Game number 1, but game number 2, Nisha.
Oh, the split. Though I felt like PSG LGD, from my perspective anyway, Blitz, I thought they were going to walk away from the laning phase with a net worth advantage.
Me too. I thought that bottom lane should have been okay for them. The mid lane wins. Because even with the kill, the Lesh are still really far ahead of the SF.
Yeah.
Looks like Yapsor not going to try to cut off. Is supposed to win very handedly. And we saw that early on. But for some crazy reason, Secret still have a net worth lead.
Combination of Yapsor's successful rotation. They were just desperate to let him up there in net worth, and then also the way they've shut out this Darkseer. Chalice has not gotten that much out of the off lane. Now to all these heroes keep on showing up in his lane, really trying to pressure this tier 1 tower. They're going to go for it though with the Fatal Bonds, threatening the golem. They're going to drop it now, long enough to be able to get the lasso onto Maybe once again. Maybe shows up in the bottom lane and dies almost immediately. Xnova, very optimistic TP there, my friend.
And the Yule's being queued up by mid 1. Wants that jump combo.
And look how much damage he's getting on this mid tier 1 while the Leshrek's still dead. He might even be able to claim the tower.
I mean, they're pinging like crazy. This is his time to recover right now.
Yeah.
He's still quite far behind the Leshrak when it comes to net worth. But it's just sort of the nature of the heroes.
Secret just really not letting that Leshrak get the ball rolling when it comes to killing heroes and then taking towers. And it's buying the SF a lot of comeback time. Is 8-2. 1,000 net worth lead for Team Secret at 12 minutes in. Who's securing an Arcane Rune for the Leshrak, who might just need to take a little bit of farming time here. I mean, how important is that Yule Scepter, do you think, for fighting against Team Secret?
It's a really nice hard reset. It sets up kills on the Shadow Fiend and makes it so that you always get the jump. It's good to set up on Yapsor. It acts as a very good defensive tool too. Plus the hard dispel.
Speaking of Yapsor, he did go with the Soul Ring and Tranquil Boots, so it's the full support, easy regen build, so we can always stay on map and always get some farm out of these lanes. But now we're gonna find Puppey here. Maybe he's making his way over. He knows the Team Secret are very likely to still take this fight with the Fatal Bonds onto. Now they managed to get the lasso out as well. Disruption going down thanks to that Fissure. They managed to stall up PSG LGD long enough they can follow with the Echo Slam to kill the Shadow Demon, the spin on top of multiple heroes. But now they do manage to get the hold on it. Maybe once again they just keep on doing this and they beat him down with the help of Yapsor. And all these heroes, they're tanky enough, much like game 1 where
He's got to find his way out.
The Omni Slash is going to need a spin away in 2 seconds time. Almost has it. Actually does manage to get a surge from the low ground from his Darkseer. A really good play by Chalice to ensure at least the carry doesn't die. And maybe they kill Zai as well. Give the extra boost of movement speed to Xnova. With the Ion Shell, he'll get the dominating streak of Zai. So that fight was terrible for PSG LGD, but at least it ends on a happy note.
I need them to, in this series, to stop trying to kill Puppey.
Yeah.
Like, it's not worth it for you. They keep trying to do it. He didn't even have Rock. They keep getting baited into going on this hero, and Warlock is one of those heroes that you think of as very, very soft in paper, but, I mean, he's got a heal, and he's got decent stats.
Pull the creep wave off the tower, but it doesn't matter. Mid-1 recognizes that it's low enough he can commit, and PSG LGD, I mean, they're trying to commit for the safe lane tower, but Zai actually thinks that maybe he can defend it or something. They're doing a lot of Fatal Bonds damage. Look at that.
He does get it, and that's impressive considering Bad Rider, not a great animation, one of the lower base damages that you'll get, as we see here again. They do it under the shrine, so there's so much time to respond. He's got 1200 HP, raindrops, and a stick, plus his heal. He hides in the corner.
Also, that duo has no damage. That support duo, just not that great at being able to burst down these heroes because the spend is pretty low on damage. They needed maybe to get a bit closer, but by the time he shows up, Bat Rider and the SF are already there. Yapsor hit that really good Fissure as well.
That's why we don't see Sven often as a support, because half of his toolkit doesn't actually help you at all as a support. His cleave and his ulti are effectively just kind of useless on you because you have no items. You're never going to really find opportunities to utilize that, as Zai finds the pick off, lines it up for the raises for mid-1. The healing ward's going to go down to Ame, going to spin his way out of this one as Chalice.
Oh, the Yule Scepter. Are they going to be able to slow him down? Yeah, they've got him. The upheaval, the sticky napalm.
What I also like about this is Batrider looks so good. And I think a large part is the fact they've got two supports with just excellent reach, right? We've got the Golem that can drop just for a small second. Is all the Batrider needs to close that distance. Same goes with the Fisher.
If you're a fan of PSG LGD though, calm down. Everything's still okay because your top two cores still lead the game.
No damage. That support duo, just not that great at being able to burst down these heroes because the Sven is pretty low on damage. They needed maybe to get a bit closer, but by the time he shows up, the Batrider and the SF are already there. YapzOr hit that really good Fisher as well.
That's why we don't see Sven often as a support, because half of his toolkit doesn't actually help you at all as a support. His cleave and his still getting very good farm despite the deaths.
That's not good for PSG LGD though. YapzOr has a blink dagger at 16 minutes. So now you've got a big team fight item.
Still, despite all that and the 13-3 kill lead and the mid tower that they took, plus the denied tower at bottom, it's only 1k in favor of Team Secret.
Yeah. They could just find a way to take this tier 1 mid, start opening up the map a bit more for themselves.
Yeah, I still think this is a very 50-50-ish game as they're going to run into Zai here.
Omni slash, oh no, it went onto the Golem! Great use of that by Puppey. Now the Eul's Scepter, they know he still has spins, so they can't hard commit, but a great Fisher. Now the Nikkosan from YapzOr revealing the blink dagger. Killing the carry of PSG LGD. We said that was the high point. Maybe Nisha, if they can actually trade this out though, this would be okay. Zai's gonna TP in. They're gonna use the glyph to make sure the creep survives, so Nisha's still gonna fall. And now all this AoE damage. He actually lassoed up the Leshrac, but he's taking too much. He will be able to fly away as YapzOr once again comes to the rescue. Bouncing back Chalice. They do manage to get the Stormbolt. Eul's Scepter stopping him. Managed to get off that surge down, and now Xnova slowed down to a crawl. YapzOr can blink in front of him if he wants to make that kind of commitment. FY's going to come forward. They do manage to kill Zai with a disruption onto the SF, slowing down this damage. Still, another enchant totem hitting onto Xnova, and they're just going to let loose the ultimate just in case. The SF wanted to make sure that they could not go. And
Fatal Bonds damage, enough to get the kill, but still that Juggernaut pickoff is going to be the big bounty for Team Secret. They did lose the Spectre during that time. So Jug still leads the leaderboard, but Ame has just been not so on point with his ultimates.
Yeah. I mean, well countered by PSG LGD, and at one point was a little unlucky, but also just doesn't feel like PSG LGD is setting up these fights very successfully.
No, it feels very rushed.
Yeah.
We're going to see here again at bottom lane. Ame.
You see a hero, just cast it immediately. But like Secret, it feels like every single fight, PSG LGD, even though they're the ones starting the engagement, Secret has more heroes there.
Yeah, it's just really how they operate. Don't let lone heroes get picked off. Try to save everybody. Get out as clean as possible. As you see Nisha, he knows he messed up too.
Yeah.
When he got caught mid.
I was very surprised to see him in mid lane out of all the lanes, but also past the river at all.
So far in the battle of Burning's tier 1 carries.
Oh, that's right. Burning did say both. He had Ame and Nisha as his kind of top tier, S tier carries, and right now, anyway, Team Secret is coming out on top when it comes to this series, as far as their carrying in this game. I actually feel like it's come more down to everybody else on the team, right? Because the games have oftentimes become so one-sided.
And Ame, they need him to perform here. 0, 1, and 2, not the kind of impact that they're hoping from their star player, who is going to go for the Radiant Juggernaut build. He's going to need to get something like a Linken's, though, at some point, I think.
Yeah.
He just needs HP. There's so many different ways to burst him. They have 2 different ways to cut through the spin TP, which really cuts the Juggernaut's effectiveness.
Oh, and there's the Radiance from the Spectre.
Yeah, this is a scary item. They do have Healing Ward, which is one of the best ways to deal with it.
Yeah. But then Secret, they also have Fatal Bonds. We've seen how effective that has been in many of these fights.
18-5, 1k gold lead for Secret. So PSG LGD, every single time they lose a team fight, they just split up and farm. Everybody else is still hitting creeps. They still have their tier 1 tower available to the bottom lane.
does seem like one of the strengths of PSG LGD is that even when they're losing fights, they still don't fall that far behind in net worth.
Yeah, that's the strength of both these teams, in a way.
Kind of weird.
They just have cores that continue to pick up pace.
We see our odds, GG bet odds, very favorable for Team Secret, as this is, I mean, just watching Game 1 and Game 2 does seem like Secret, once again, are having that advantage by 25 minutes. We'll see if they could get another pick off on Nisha. It would be massive. The Purge is slowing him down. It does a lot, but nobody from PSG LGD can follow.
That delay looked like it took a while.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. He's got a Shrine active.
I'm surprised that they decided to go for the Jug Radiance, by the way. Considering you have the SD illusions.
Oh, yeah. What do you think a better build would be then? The Diffusal Manta or?
Yeah. Plus you have SD. Like, you can just send the illusions out to deal with waves. Like, they'll just push out naturally. They're very strong.
Yeah.
You have your own Radiance when you disrupt the Spectre. So, like, feels a little bit redundant in a way. Zai, he knows he's been spotted.
Smoke's gonna pop. X-Nova, with a flame break, only knocking him to the side, not backwards, and he's gonna turn around. He managed to get the Storm Bolt off. So Zai's smoke is gonna be ruined. And they do get a heavy push in this top lane. Maybe managed to accomplish that. There's gonna be the haunt. They thought they found him in time, but YapzOr, who was smoked up running this direction with his Blink Dagger, was just a bit too far away. And this is a great opportunity. PSG LGD, I think at this point, you definitely try and take a fight. You just saw a smoke break. You saw Haunt be used. You've got your Radiance as well.
Yeah, I think the timing is very good. I'd like to see them smoke here. There's no way you're waiting for the full Manta before you take a fight, right?
No, no way.
But it's in fact Secret that are going to go for it. I could see both teams just smoking into each other right now. PSG LGD, they're making sure there's no wards.
With the double damage rune, I mean, again, this is one of those smokes where an opportunity presents itself, and PSG LGD, they're on the wrong side of the map right now. Tier 2 creeps, doing a lot of damage. They probably think to themselves, like, okay, let's just take this tower, perhaps, but all the meanwhile, this Roshan is dropping fast.
Maybe they think that Secret's just straight up smoked and still looking around.
Yeah. That's going to be an early Aegis for Nisha. So we see that a very cool Roshan animation on stage.
And a very fortunate DD rune for an SF who doesn't really have a right-click build.
Yeah.
Allows that to happen is now they go for the smoke.
You know, you could say it's lucky, but I feel like Team Secret is always getting the power runes.
Yeah, it's partially because they control the map.
Yeah.
Like, that is what will always scale in your favor, is they spot the Spectre mid, not best target that they could go for, because there is a Warlock Golem that will follow up. So they want to go on Puppey instead.
They're trying to catch Puppey. They do manage to get the really long-range purge. They're gonna turn around, just rock immediately. Nisha's gonna run in. God Strength is gonna be popped. They managed to get the disruption onto this Spectre, and they're gonna try and blow up that first life as quick as possible. But there is a position for good upheaval. They also got a really good Fatal Bond, so a lot of PSG LGD is quite low, and they just need to retreat, I think, at this point. Maybe cannot afford anybody to take more damage. And Chalice, fissured up, Secret. They see that PSG LGD is waiting for their offlaner. They're not going to abandon him. So that wasn't too bad. PSG LGD almost immediately taking away that Aegis.
That was great for them. They got the rock out of the way, plus they got the Aegis that they just picked up. They smoked for that too. And
so you just go again, right?
Yeah, I could see them making another aggressive maneuver. They don't have the SD ults or the Darkseer wall, but they're not as dependent on those abilities to fight. And that's the best part about playing Leshrac in this meta, is he's always down to fight.
Yeah.
He's your 2 position that pushes out waves, farms up everything, never really falls far behind, and he's always ready to go with team fights. That's why we see Sumail go for example, like that move speed, boot to travel build, so that he can be as global, as mobile as possible.
We saw that last game, and, well, maybe actually doesn't trust that same build. He's going to go for a faster Octarine. It's still general movement speed build. He just doesn't go the Kaya Yasha, as Kaya Yule's boots to travel.
And that's fine. He just thinks he needs more HP, which I would agree with.
Oh, especially against the Yule's SF and this Earthshaker. Yeah. They've got hard lockdown of plenty. Shattered even trying to go for that 25-minute bounty rune. Does manage to get it and gets out. PSG LGD, they actually just got all 4.
Yeah, now this gold lead is cut to barely 1K. And this was kind of the concern is we saw the kill score get racked up, but the actual gold never really fluctuated. It's been 1K this entire time. After Roshan, it got all the way up to 2, but that's the largest lead that I've personally seen this game.
We saw from the bounty tracker there, gotten about 3,000 of their net worth advantage on the side of PSG LGD from all the extra bounties they've gotten. EG, Liquid, Secret, top 3 when it comes to fast Roshans. All the top tier Western teams.
LGD near the bottom of that list with Alliance. I mean, Alliance lost all but 2 of their games, so it's not too surprising that they didn't get a lot of opportunities as they get the jump.
Lasso, they're going to try and get him with a haunt here. Throw everything they have in this Juggernaut, try and pound him down to the ground. They do manage to get him. No buyback available either, so this is not a fight that PSG LGD can win. All they can do is try and stem the loss as much as possible, but Zai, he just keeps on running forward. He managed to find now FY, bouncing back with a flame break, mid one, jumping forward. They're going to try and go for the Centaur stun. Do manage to get a really good wall out as well with this soul buy, but maybe they can... Nah, they're just running out of damage at this point, especially since maybe couldn't successfully TP in. If he's gotten that Boots of Travel and maybe been able to run down some heroes with his Pulse Nova, they could have killed something. But
I think they canceled actually because of mid-one's BKB pop.
Yeah, probably.
It's very hard to fight that at that point, and just a good jump overall by Secret. They still have the Warlock Rock, and I need to see this Juggernaut and his build sort of play out.
Yeah. It's been a disappointing performance for Ame, who's 0-2-2 right now. Secret win a fight, push in top, and they don't immediately break apart. They'll send the SF to bottom lane, so we're going to look at that fight again. Just that rapid initiation, especially with YapzOr ready to go on the side. Even if there was a bunch of PSG LGD heroes ready to jump in, YapzOr could have just echoed slammed them instead of committing for the Juggernaut. Yeah. So it was pretty much a well set up fight for Secret. And I feel like that's the big difference between these two teams. We've seen LGD rush a lot of their engagements.
Hey, most of the time, they're sending their Jug in first to try to be in the forefront. He gets jumped on, and they have so much control that they can just burst him every time. As soon as they get the Bat Rider
a lasso and a haste rune. They've got a Yule Scepter for this Leshrac, but I don't know how he survives. They're going to drop the Golem. YapzOr gets on top of him as well with his Blink Dagger and Chan Totem hit. And just booking it over there. Oh. That wasn't the play. Mid-one accidentally Yule Sceptering himself.
He did get the kill, though, at the last hit on the Lesh.
Yep.
So he's okay for gold.
Absolutely. Samantha Illusions pushing out top lane, but Secret, Yules, Fisher setting up these raises, just keeping X-Nova controlled up, and I don't know about this blitz. Maybe he was still dead. Ame was only just TPing to that shrine. I feel like you can't afford these kind of pickoffs. Ame just kind of challenging here. Looking to kill that creep wave.
He's gonna spin in and out as
they're gonna get Fisher in for the side. They do manage to get the Omni Slash onto Puppy, so that'll be a freebie. Not sure how much they can chase, especially as they lose their Centaur.
They're gonna trade the Darkseer creep for Puppy, so the gold is actually pretty even.
that is true.
It's the XP, and you just need to get Ame on the board, I feel.
Yeah.
Like he needed that kill.
Mass rotations down to bottom lane, where once again, Zai is leading the charge.
Find anything, though. It's looking in the tree line, but looks like PSG LGD have learned their lesson from the previous game. Secret will hunt you.
Once they get a Scythe of Ice on this Shadow Fiend, that's just one more thing they have to worry about, right? For the Juggernaut when it comes to that hard initiation.
Yeah, that's why I feel like you would have preferred to see a different build from him. But that's okay. He's hard committed to this, and who am I to say?
This double Boots of Travel. Feels like Team Secret is everywhere around the map. Especially when they have so much mobility and movement speed and Blink Daggers as well.
I believe that was an Octarine I just saw finished up. Has to be for the Lesh, right?
Yeah, our Leshrac is got that complete now. Is going to go for a BKB next.
That's his counter, I think, to the Spectre dispersion.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, a BKB would feel, I think, a lot better for this next engagement, how much magic damage they have.
I think so too, but I imagine the reason why he goes for it is for the raw HP that it serves you as well.
Yeah.
Plus, Octarine just feels really good on Lesh.
If they can if they get this Octarine and they can win the next fight, it'll mean our Lesh track is going to scale better later into the game, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely something that PSG LGD, they got to be a bit worried about right now because this game has stalled out. It's a 4,000 net worth for Team Secret. I can't imagine you're going to get one of those giant windfalls you got game one, especially with this kind of movement around the map. Always finding these pickoffs.
Dude, Zai's been everywhere.
Zai
in this game.
How can you stop this guy when he's running at like 500 movement speed?
He has set up the last like 6 kills, I think, for Team Secret, and he's found cores every single time. He's not finding some FY, he's finding either Ame or he's finding maybe. He's just punishing them, and now top 2 net worths in the game belong to Secret. The net worth lead, it just continues to steadily climb. SF getting in position right now, gets disrupted. They're trying to save Chalice here. Zai still on the hunt. Doesn't have his ulti quite yet. He's gonna get purged. But is there a follow-up? Ame
vacuum as well. Xnova didn't have that Stormhammer ready to go just yet. Now they're going to get the upheaval. Xnova knowing that he's in trouble. The Echo Slam jumping to the high ground. They managed to get the Juggernaut. Can they lock him down? Manage to get the spin. Now
they get the shrine.
Can they actually fight underneath this one? They've got the healing ward as well. That one dies. As Mid-1 committed his BKB. The Yule Scepter. Okay, they just managed to stop Chalice in his place as soon as he goes for the surge. PSG LGD actually thought they're going to go back in for this fight, but now they've been fighting balance up, and now they've lost their carry. Is the lasso, the double hit from the Rays with the fatal bonds. That wipes PSG LGD.
Goss. Dude, Zai's been everywhere.
Zai.
In this game.
How can you stop this guy? To go for a high ground push.
The creep wave is right here. They've got the golem down on the ground. Zai, the perfect timing, back for his ultimate. And the Juggernaut. Finding either the entire engagement.
Yeah.
They needed that damage. It looked like it was going to be a great reset for them too. The Echo Slam didn't do nearly enough. They got the Shrine off. They got the healing ward. It just continues to steadily opportunities for them to fight. I think part of the problem too is the fact that their Sven that they picked up, we just haven't seen it do anything.
Yeah.
It didn't win the lane. He doesn't really contribute nearly as much as Puppey does when we just compare the 5 positions.
And it looks even worse when, as you said, this whole entire drafting concept was to be able to give you a better carry last pick, right? Where you were like, you thought it was a Sven, but surprise, it's actually Juggernaut. But our Juggernaut has had no game whatsoever either.
Yes, they're going to, you see the fight right here. Ame, you can see mid ulti, gets Yule Sceptered up. I mean, Secret, this should be a bad fight for them. They chase uphill, they don't kill the Jug. The Rock doesn't really do anything. Everyone's at full HP.
But Ame just does no damage, especially as you can see he was like totally out of that fight. Somebody must have made the call to try and fight again. But Ame's not had much of a game, and there's no maybe. So they pretty much are out of damage at that point.
Plus the Fatal Bonds. Can we actually compare the 5-position hero damage?
Oh yeah, because the Fatal Bonds is doing massive amounts of work in this game. See the damage dealt. Our Sven only at 5.7k. Nice vacuum Stormhammer. That's a beauty, but they do manage to get their 4 stats as well. Their BKB.
Nisha's low.
Nisha's low, though. They're going to be able to finish him off. The Spectre Illusion's running forward with the Radiance Burn as well. Puppey just saying, I'm going to give up my life, lay it down just to make sure at least Mid-1 escapes from this. And it looks like Yapsor will as well, as Ame spots him a little bit late.
They finally get a pretty decent fight together. Darkseer setting all of that up.
And PSG LGD, they have really good pushing power, so when you win a fight, they're going to be able to go for tier 2s, and I say absolutely go for it here. Go for the full lane of Brax. At least try and force the buyback out of the Spectre, which we know she actually doesn't have. PSG LGD, they got to play for a win.
And part of what allowed them to win game number 1 was their decisiveness. And they're going to go for it again. They see the opportunity. Secret, they don't want to hard engage. Mid-1 doesn't have buyback himself or the BKB. So this should be a free tier 3 tower, and all of a sudden, PSG LGD, they found their way into the base. They might actually be even in racks after this.
They do have Echo Slam as well as Lasso, so PSG LGD do need to be careful as they leave the base to make sure none of their carries get picked up. But Zai, he's not going to go for it. Team Secret playing it super safe, and PSG LGD really evening out the game. They just lost their mid lane of Barracks. managed to win a fight, take Secrets away. Goes to show that even if Secret is ahead, 5, 6, 7,000 net worth, this game can turn on a dime against them.
We saw the hero damage difference between X-Nova and the Warlock, but...
Yeah, what was the... Oh, 14,000 compared to 6.6k for the Sven. Not to mention, our old Warlock can also do some healing.
And a BKB
Smoke out to
completed
the
by the
top
left.
lane. They're going to run into FY here. A quick pounce from Team Secret, an easy kill. But nothing that is game-defining. So I'm not sure if Team Secret feel confident.
All of a sudden, PSG LGD.
Maybe just a Shadow Demon pick off is enough for them to do Roshan. We'll have to see. It is going to be a tough fight, though. PSG LGD, they have the Wall of Replica up for the Darkseer. And there's pretty much no better engagement than a Roshan fight for that ability.
Yeah, they pop back with FY. They want to hard commit to this.
Ame's coming in from the side. Is going to be able to kill some vision to start things off. Just make sure they have an advantage. There's going to be the hot mid. One pops BKB. And in turning, there's going to be the golem. They drop the SF ultimate. They will be able to finish off the Shadow Demon. Is ahead by...
It's only hitting the rock. The rock doesn't even die to all of that. The SF is fine. Nisha's at half health, and he's ready to go back in as well as he sees that Ame feels uncomfortable with this. He's actually just going to keep going. He doesn't really have a ton of backup here.
Yeah, the SD popped back for that and died. He's going to get stunned up right now. The Lincoln's is popped, but he manages his way off. He's just trying to stick around the wall at this point.
Yeah. All the Secret have to do is just play patient. They do have this big push that's coming in the bottom lane. It's nice, but Secret know that losing a tier 3 there isn't going to change the game. What is going to change the game is this Roshan fight.
Yeah, 30 seconds for this SD. The wall finally finishes up. They still have the big Echo Slam. And Zai went in for it, but in the wrong order.
Oh, they're back in the 4-man! A 4-man's done! Ame spinning on in. The Splitter is only going to be able to catch the Warlock here. The self-fuels onto mid one. They need to be able to finish him off. The Radiance Burn. It brings him down. Echo Slam now from Yapstor. That's going to be able to finish off the Sven in the Darkseer, but Ame is still plenty healthy. The healing ward's not enough to keep Ame alive. He does have buyback. They need to be able to get Ame out of here and reset, but he actually spins and goes for it. TP's away. Decides better. Thinks Yapstor's going to kill. He may be able to have it too, especially when Maybe, who cuts him off the boots of travel. Now, Maybe, he's going to run to mid one as well, who has a fresh BKB, but
this was the buyback.
Zai does not have the lasso. They have the Fatal Bonds on Maybe as well. Slow down the upheaval. He self-fuels. Ame spinning in, trying to help him out. The force.
They need to disrupt him.
Trying to chase him down. They need to be able to save Maybe. He's almost dead, but no! SF dies as well. Spectre, dagger, trying to get to him. The purge. He's catching up. He's catching up. They burned him. Ever so barely. He gets the die back on Maybe. And Ame, he's still trying to fight this one out. He sees some supports. He's going to be able to go for Puppy here. Chase him down with the spin. Self-golem, though. Explosion.
It's just Ame.
They are already broken the lid. They're going to be able to grab with the lasso as well. He hits the enchant on him. He's dead. He has a buyback. Darkseer's up in 5. Sven up in 15. And Secret, they don't have the power, I think, to take this Roshan. But they're going to try. Actually, Roshan's super low. It's only a 2k HP. Darkseer, he's going to be too far away. Ame, he can't get there in time. He can't TP out, so they are going to be able to get the Aegis and Sheath. Now they have to make sure they don't get picked off here. There's no lasso, but there is a Yules.
Ame's still in the area. He's got to be careful.
They do have the Starman Married to the back, and once again with the wall. Oh, great setup. Nisha's in trouble, but they still manage to finish off the Darkseer. But Nisha, he's about to fall here. His first life is gone. A very healthy Ame, but X-Nova's being beaten down by this Golem as he takes out from the flame break, bit by bit. Looks like the Radiance Burn, they will be able to find him. Ame has his Lincoln's broken. They're going to try and haunt over into him, but he's underneath their shrine right now, and I think Secret realizing that they're not so sure about this fight. Zai's going to keep the sticky napalm up, and they're just going to go for every other hero. That isn't Ame. He does manage to get the purge, and is going to be breaking Nisha for a little while, but Ame wants to be able to get Zai instead. He's being guided so much by this.
He's got the ult.
He's down with the lasso. He's holding it down. Nisha's beating a 1, 2, 3, and that's it. 5 dead from LGD with no buyback. 30 seconds left on the majority of PSG LGD.
You see Yapstor hold his heart right there as everyone bought back for that fight. And Secret barely hold on. What a fantastic job they did with kiting. Zai lived throughout that entire engagement.
Absolutely insane by our Bat Rider, just always kiting these heroes around with a constant sticky napalm, setting Nisha up in a good position. It's not going to be the end of the game, but it is a one fight for Team Secret.
And it looks so good for PSG LGD here.
Yes.
When they stack them all together.
But he managed to get, once again, that vacuum. They have the Omni Slash with the wall out, but still, they're doing so much damage to Nisha that all the dispersion damage just bounces back, kills the Darkseer, brings the Sven super low.
Once again,
the
Zai found somebody.
Into the ultimate challenge is going to be hit by the Golem as well. He does have that surge. Another Eul Scepter going down. They're going to pop the BKB from mid one. They really want this Darkseer. They saw how much power he does in these team fights. Maybe he's going to come from the side. They managed to get the vacuum out, but Chalice is still dead. Maybe he's going to try and run down mid one, but he realizes he can't commit, especially with Nisha in the way. So instead, maybe they can go for Zai, who's slowing down more right now. Managed to get the flame break, bump over to the side. Still another 40 seconds for the carries. Juggernaut and Sven.
They're going to go for throw.
They're going to go straight for the throw. They know. They saw it. They saw the way maybe Ame couldn't defend 1 versus 5. Maybe he's certainly not going to be able to do the same, but their damage is so slow. Maybe finally makes his way back to the fountain here.
He's going to have to do this by himself.
A glyph is going to go.
He's got the ulti.
Ame, I mean, if he could just bide like 10 seconds time, enough for the Sven and Ame to be able to come back up. But now the throne is exposed. Even if the damage is slow, it is inevitable here. Maybe he finds his opportunity, but they're going to call it here even before they go for the bat right, and that is it. Team Secret. LGD managed to make it a little bit close, but Team Secret close it out in the end, and in Game 3, they are going to the Grand Finals.
Zai is an absolute beast. What a Batrider performance that was.
He's going to come from the side. They managed to get the vacuum out, but Chalice to emphasize how strong a Batrider performance is that late into the game. Can go for Zai, who's lined out. Being able to play out long team fights. I mean, he was powerful in every single one of these fights, and not just with the lasso, but with these constant sticky napalms, being able to kite these heroes around, just slow them. For Nisha to follow up with his hard-hitting Spectre.
He always found the core targets. They always started the fights with the Batrider initiation into the haunt, making everyone's game easier. Great game from both sides, though.
Absolutely. PSG LGD showing world-class team fighting there. So many great vacuums set up by Chalice with the walls, and the X-Nova always being able to follow up with the Stormbolts as well. Just absolutely well done for them to be able to make a showing here in this Game 3 in what was Team Secret. Mostly controlling not just this Game 3, but this series as well. It is an excellent team to see in the Grand Finals. I feel like this is a team that you watch them in the playoffs, you watch that very first series, and you were like, oh, I can see it. I can see them going all the way through this lower bracket.
And they do so in a nail-biter as PSG LGD. There was no quit in them, but Secret end up on top after that crazy carnage 8-man buyback. But for more, we're going to throw it over to the panel.
Thank you very much, gents. Yes, for the first time in ESL 1 history, we have a repeat final. It's Team Secret versus Evil Geniuses, a repeat of the 2015 ESL 1 Frankfurt final, where Secret came out on top. We'll find out all about that, of course, because our best-of-5 grand final is well ahead of us. But first, let's break down the series that has been absolutely fantastic. A breathtaking end to it. T-Governor and Pyrian Flags, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Just a bit, yeah.
I mean,
that was unbelievable.
It was exactly what you wanted it to be, Ted.
Yeah,
you said you wanted fight, you wanted brawl, you got everything, and it was like a 5-minute team fight going on.
It was incredible. The buybacks, the tiny little plays. You'd have to go back and watch it again a few times to really see every single detail of those fights. And when it just rolls on and on, the hype goes up, the crowd goes crazy. Cap, how does he keep his voice? I don't know.
I think he's lost his vocal cords after that because he just had to carry on for ages. That fight around the 34-minute roast started with a 4-man and then it just spread. That carried on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's the battle of the buybacks, of course, and Secret did come out on top. And I don't know. I feel personally the crowd made it so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Let's find out from Puppy how he enjoyed that last game. He's on stage right now with Eri.
Puppy, I've done a lot of interviews with you, but this is the first time I see you sweating after winning a match. Take us through that, man.
That's not sweat, that's Dota juice, man.
Dota juice! That was a crazy, the last few minutes of that entire match was insane. Chasing the dieback from maybe. Talk us through that, man. That was intense.
You know, Darkseer is one of like those heroes like Enigma. Once you get that vacuum going, wham, everybody's dead, and that's what happens to us, and that's what makes Dota great, you know? It really does.
You guys agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%.
LGD is actually, in terms of having a winning record, they were up against you guys. I think making that the only team who has a winning record against Secret. How did you adjust coming into playing them for this series?
We had to respect them with the ideas that they were going for. I actually thought we could have won first game, but we threw really hard. So, and then they gave me Chen, so they threw really hard.
It's been 4 months.
Yeah, it's been a while. But anyway, great team. I love these games. And now for EG.
EG Grand Final. Really quick, I just want to get your quick thoughts on that. How are you feeling about this?
I'm not going to cliff Arteezy. I'm not going to do that. It's abuse these days.
Do you want Puppy to cliff Arteezy? I think they disagree, though.
Yapster might. He plays those heroes.
All right, there you go. Puppy, why don't you go ahead and sign, of course, the camera, making it to the Grand Final. Give it up for Puppy and Team Secret. We have a Grand Final for you, Birmingham. EG Secret coming in just a bit.
Well done, Puppy. Well done, Team Secret. They reached their 6th final here at ESL 1. It's a record. No other team has done more than 3, and they've made it to 6 finals at ESL 1, winning 3 of the last 5 as well. So looking for a 4th title, which will take them ahead of Virtus Pro. History to be made here at ESL 1. Sadly, gents, that's the end of the road for PSG LGD, and I want to just pay them some respect because they have had a very good tournament, finished in 3rd place. Unfortunately, 1 short again. They just can't seem to crack this Grand Final at ESL 1.
No disrespect to them at all in saying that I thought Secret played better. I thought they were, like Puppy said, Secret could have won that first game.
Yeah.
They did not give up. PSG LGD know that they can fight and they can win. That game was close.
It was.
That fight at the end there, really, it was tiny little brilliant plays.
Stats-wise, it doesn't look close. but it
Put
was
the stats
close.
from your mind.
Watch the last 10 minutes.
Last 10 minutes.
The
Yeah.
stats.
Stats
Surely-
lie. Naz is
exactly.
wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Stats do lie. You know, when they're 30, 40 kills up, but then you're still able to take these fights. And it's why Dota so good.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable for us, very enjoyable for Puppy. Also very enjoyable for our man Purge.
The Secret Draft was pretty interesting. The Shadow Fiend plus Leshrac matchup can produce some really good things for Shadow Fiend. The purpose of the 4 mangoes is that you can raise stack your opponent and therefore zone him so you can get free last sets. But the problem was that maybe was super sick this matchup. Lands a stun here after the first long range, and then he kites and stays out of range to make sure that he can't get the stacking raises. This offsets the benefit of the mangoes, and SF gets a little bit behind, which means that he's absolutely pressurable. So here at the 5-minute mark, they're already having 2 supports in the mid lane, dewarding that observer ward, giving them advantage there. The mid gank ends up coming eventually. While they push forward, it was maybe landing a ground stun. They had follow-up with the Shadow Demon Disruption to buy time for Sven to get close enough with a stun, but unfortunately they didn't quite have enough damage. And importantly, Nisha, because he was in a 1v1 more or less, getting the creep wave while the support sell with the Darkseer combo, he gets a stupid fast level 6. 6 minutes in here, he's able to haunt and help contribute and make sure that Shadow Demon is killed. If Shadow Demon doesn't die, might get more stacks, get an SF kill. They had another gank with an Invis rune, trying to kill mid one once again. There's heroes mid constantly, because they know if they shut down Shadow Fiend, it's going to be much harder for him to accelerate, and the only carry is going to be the Shadow Demon, the Spectre, and Shadow Demon does very well against him late game. So eventually they give up on the SF. They do go for a spec kill, but it's really difficult with the heroes. I think the Shadow Demon pick was a bit off here. It had laning troubles that didn't translate, but its late game was very good. Very good against Spectre in the late game, but in the early game it had issues, and because they couldn't pressure Spectre or Secret enough, they had trouble getting ahead, and then it just became a matchup disadvantage in the late game.
I mean, he could have picked so many clips from that last series, couldn't he? But he's picked out some absolute corkers, as ever he does, Purge. We love the fact that he does these reviews, and I know that you guys enjoy them as well. So let's check in with the Mountain Dew and Game Fuel Power Play selections. We have 4 for you to choose from. You can go and vote on any of these 4, and Purge will break these down a little bit later on in the show. This is number 1. This is the Medusa for 3.
Yeah, jumping on the Medusa, it's always going to be hard to kill, and then eventually the other team will naturally turn it around.
Clip number 2, the Roche turnaround.
This feels like such a long time ago.
Oh, this was the X-Nova one. I like the Hex, but again, it's such good positioning to make sure he can actually get that CC off.
This one's called Don't Chase Puppy.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is never good.
And our final clip, Yapzor is everywhere.
Again, when you give him these heroes that can have such a good laning presence, he's going to always be around the map. Earthspirit, Earthshaker, it's just what he does.
Yeah. What one do you like best, Ted?
The last one, because it's got
last one.
Yaps.
Yeah, it's got Yaps already.
Yeah, because he's a god.
All right.
Such a simple answer.
That's it. That's it.
Was he your series MVP?
That's a tough one. I mean, the performance for Zai in the last game was so good.
It was, wasn't it? That
honestly,
Batrider game was amazing.
It was. Like, he did in the third game what Yapso did in the second game, which was he's everywhere. He's constantly finding people. He's applying pressure. You're trying to push out a lane. No, there's Zai, and now you're dead. He was everywhere. And in the team fights, he was so good.
I mean, it's why it's kind of tough to pick out MVPs when Secret play, because like every game someone stands up and is slightly maybe ahead of the rest of them, but they can all do it, can't they? The whole team.
Yeah. But again, in this game, when they picked the Batrider, they made sure the next two bans allowed Zai to have a perfect game. They banned out the Oracle, they banned out the Abaddon, and now like you can just leave him solo. There's like not many heroes unless they do like a dual or tri-lane that can shut down this Batrider, and then he has this flawless game. So it's like the fact that they banned for him and then he performed as well is what's crucial.
I know the Chinese fans will be very disappointed that PSG couldn't make their way through into the grand final, but I know a lot of fans here wanted a secret EG final. I heard that in the audience this morning. They're really pumped up. They wanted that clash between the two arch enemies, as it were. Players that have translated from both sides have gone both ways in this team. And then we end up with both of them in the final. And it is the first ever repeat final of an ESL 1 as well. 15 times we've had finals. Never had the same two teams in the final before. So
it's unbelievable.
Some history between these
Who won that final again?
Secret won that one.
Ooh,
Yeah. The weirdest thing about EG is they were in the first 3 ever ESL 1 grand finals and didn't win any of them.
Well, now's their time, maybe, yeah?
And it's 3.
Okay. Ooh.
They lost
the charm.
3 ESL 1 finals. So I'm just saying they've broken 1 3 curse. Can they break the other one as well? I mean, 10 finals between them now at ESL 1. We've only had 15. That's incredible for these two teams. And it just goes to show, Ted, doesn't it? That legacy, that history that these two teams, these brands have built up over the years.
I think that's why people want to see this game. You've got 2 big teams. It's like Real Madrid, Barcelona or something. You know, it's like big names. You want to see who's the best. And 5 games is the real settler.
It's great, isn't it? 5 games in this arena with this crowd. Can't wait. For that. We've still got a few things to come, of course. We've got a little break for the players to make sure they're ready for the grand final. Not least of which, the fact we're going to go back to Purge and find out which of the power plays you chose.
The Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Power Plays.
Hey guys, you chose clip number 4 today. This is the Yap Swords everywhere. Now the cool play that started Zai pulling the creep wave, he accidentally runs into Juggernaut, gets solo Omni Slash. This looks terrible for him based on his items. All you can do is try to run away, but very cool. Puppey drops his ultimate there to split the damage, ended up going almost entirely on the golem. He's making sure that Zai was at full life and could continue fighting. And as a result, they get to Yule setup with mid-one's Yules on the Juggernaut to buy some time so they could follow up here, and a great range fissure to start the Echo Slam. It's important that you range fissure first, because if you go for the Blink Echo and it doesn't work out, if he gets his spin off in time, then all of a sudden you're in the middle of 2 heroes, one of them dealing damage to you. So he fissures first to guarantee the stun, then blinks forward an Echo, and they cleaned up all the supports. And then later on, the enemy team LGD sets up a kill to kill the Spectre. They end up getting a lasso. Yapsar is already on the way, ends up being there for the kill as well. So Yaps are all over the map, but also great play by Puppey.
Thank you very much, Purge. Fantastic breakdowns as ever in the power plays. I'm sure we'll have a little bit more from Purge, of course, during the grand final. Gents, let's just wrap up on the tournament because 2 left now. Only 2 teams, and it has been a tremendously enjoyable tournament, Ted, to watch the matches because of the patch and how the teams have just gone about it. But it's also been highly competitive.
It has. It's been. There's not many stomps where it's just like one team gets owned twice in a row. It seems to be like you'll have close games. There are stomps, but then the other team will come back and respond. It's very close. The level has been very high. This is my last series of the event, and I've absolutely enjoyed it.
Yeah,
absolutely
it's been fantastic,
isn't
it? I know you're coming back for the final, but
highlights
so far?
No, I think, honestly, the drafting, for me, that's the thing I like to enjoy the most, and I think the drafting has improved greatly, and especially with EG and Secret, I think the way that they approach drafting is really interesting, and especially the fact they get to the final, and you get to see a potential of 5 games as well. It's going to be really interesting who they fight over and what they try and give away.
Well, they get their own meta going as well, don't we?
Exactly,
with a best of 5 as well, so great stuff. Thank you very much, gents. Time now as we move on to rejoin Shiva and find out more from our MSI Mystery Box.
It is time for the last mystery box to be given away here at ESL 1 Birmingham. And for this, we have gotten 4 new players from the upper levels and their team captains. We got all fresh as well. I am joined by Toby and Kyle, who both have a team. And I know Kyle's going to be very competitive. He's already said he really wants to win. And Toby has said he's already won the battle of team names, apparently. So we're going to find out who indeed wins that battle. Let's do that one first. Kyle, you want to go first? What's your guys' team name?
We didn't think the name was as important as actually winning, so we just went with We're Back.
All right, you're back. Okay, I'm sure you got an answer for that one, Tobes.
Yeah, before he even came up with it, we were like, Navi's not back.
That's your team name?
Yeah, that's actually our team name. Navi's not back.
They actually didn't know this beforehand, but it's, yeah, we're going back to old memes. I hope you guys' questions are a little bit more actual and factual, perhaps. You ready for this?
Yeah, of course.
Introduce me to your team.
This is my friend Margot, and this is Greg.
It's a Greg. Yes, that's always a winner right there.
And they're from the UK. This is the home team, so I better get a little bit louder cheers when we start winning.
All right, Jobs. Who you got?
So we've got Tal and we've got Sylvia, and they're also UK, so come on, like there's no bias here at all.
And he's wearing an EG shirt, so at least one of them made it to the finals, you know?
Yeah, one of them made it actually to the tournament.
Okay. Let's just go for the quiz. You know, you can settle your arguments in there. So it's very simple. It's multiple choice. This MSI quiz is me reading out a question, reading out 3 answers, and then they are going to say which letter is the corresponding answer, and you get a point with each answer. We're going to do 5 questions. Team with the most points wins. If it's tied, we're going to continue until we have a winner. I got a lot of questions. That's great. All right, here we go. Question number 1. What year was Dota 2 released? Was that A, 2011? Was that B, 2012? Or was that C, 2013?
The beta released?
What year was Dota 2 released? Is the literal question. I will not clarify anything, because you should know the answer with this. Is that A, 2011, a B, 2012, or C, 2013?
Why are you still debating this?
What was A again?
It's 2011. You can also see it on the screen right there.
This isn't hard.
Toby has already decided his team knows the answer. I'm gonna need... There's a lot of discussing. All right, I'm gonna need an answer in 5... Yeah, you got it? You have it? What do you got?
It's A.
No, it's not A. You both are wrong. It's 2013. You're both wrong. You both showed A. It's 2013. All right. We'll give them another chance. It's okay. It's okay, you guys. It was released, not beta.
That's what I was trying to clarify.
No, but there was no clarification needed. Like, this is all the letters.
Are we in beta?
You know, all I hear is salt. How many spells does Invoker have, excluding Quas, Wex, and Exort? How many spells does Invoker have, excluding Quas, Wex, and Exort? Is my second question. Oh, is that A? I gotta do the multiple choice. Is that A9? Is it B10 or C11? A9, B10, C11. I don't think I've done a quiz with this much discussion yet. Serious business at play. You guys have an answer? Big smile from Kyle. He thinks he has the answer. Toby's still discussing with his team, the accountant. You have an answer too?
We want to clarify. Does it include...
Whoa, no clarifications.
The only clarification there is excluding Quas, Wex, and Exort. All right, Kyle, we'll need your answer.
They ready?
Yeah, you go for it. Show your answer.
We're ready.
All right, show your answer, please.
We have C.
And both of you get a point. It is 1-1. We'll get there eventually. Congratulations, guys. Question number 3. This ring is considered a good luck charm among the gnomes. Is the description for which item? Is that A, a ring of health, B, a ring of regen, or C, a ring of protection? This ring is considered a good luck charm among the gnomes. Is the description for which item? A, ring of health, B, ring of regen, or C, a ring of protection? All right, guys, we're gonna need to speed this up a little bit. There's a lot of discussion.
Yeah, we're good, we're good.
Yeah, Toby, yeah, all right, let's reveal your guys' answers. Both of you went for C, and that means both of you are wrong. It is ring of regen. It is still 1-1. Next question. How many charges can a magic wand hold? Is that A, 16, B, 18, or C, 20? How many charges can a magic wand hold? Is it 16, 18, or 20? We figured we'd make the questions a little easier here because it seems to be a tough one. Toby's already decided. What's your guys' answer? Toby, reveal your answer, please. Toby.
Yeah, what?
Reveal your... Yes, both are correct. 2-2. This could be the final question. If both have it wrong or right, we're continuing on. But if one of you has the right answer and the other one does not, we'll continue on. What was Outworld Devourer's original name in Dota 2? Was that A, Outworld Demolisher? Was that B, Obsidian Destroyer? Or was that C, Outhouse Decorator? What was Outworld Devourer's original name in Dota 2?
Yeah, we're good, we're good.
All right. Both have it correct, yes. I believe you're still tied. You're still tied, which means we are continuing until one of you has it right and the other one wrong. Every question matters. Wrong answer, and you might be eliminated. How many kobolds are there in a kobold camp? Is that A, 3? Is that B, 4? Or is that C, 5? An MSI mystery box on the line for the amount of kobolds there are in a kobold camp. A, 3, B, 4, C, 5. Discussion is intense here, but both seem to have found their answer. Toby, you want to show your answer?
We're ready.
They're ready, Toby? Toby? Toby?
Oh.
Yeah? Both have C, and that means both are correct. We're continuing on. Next question. How many TI winners are playing at ESL 1 Birmingham 2019? Now that is this one. Is that A, 13? Is that B, 14? Or is that C, 15? How many TI winners are playing at ESL 1 Birmingham?
Do you count coaches as part of the active?
Playing.
Saying coaches aren't as important as players?
I'm saying coaches aren't playing, Kyle. How many TI winners are playing at ESL 1 Birmingham? 13, 14, or 15? A lot of discussion still. Counting happening, math happening. You guys. ESL 1 Birmingham. Toby, I'm gonna need an answer. Toby. All right, guys. I think they're gonna need some help, guys. Let's count them down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Their answer is A. What's your answer? C, and the answer is B. What? Seriously, guys?
That was all.
All right.
Not a secret.
It is 14. It is OG, 5. Liquid, 5. And then you have got PPD, Sumail, S4, and Poppy.
God damn it.
Why would you count Loda?
I don't know. He said it was 15. He said to trust him. There were 15.
All right. We're going to our next page. I didn't think I'd need this. This is crazy. All right. This is an easy one. I'm sure if you guys are wrong with this one, I'm going to be very disappointed. Fresh meat is the classic line of which Dota 2 hero? Is it A, Pudge? Is it C, Lifestealer? And C, Bloodseeker? I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer.
Ready.
And answer.
Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah, what a difficult question. All right. How many towers are there in a game of Dota 2? Is that A20? Is that B22? Or is that C24? How many towers are there in a game of Dota 2? Is that A20, B22, C24? And I need your answer. Hold it up, please. And both have a correct answer. All right, we're continuing on. Which of these players attending ESL 1 Birmingham has the highest overall esports earnings? Is that A, KuroKy? Is that B, Miracle? Or is that C, No-Tail? Which of these players attending ESL 1 Birmingham has the highest overall esports earnings? A, KuroKy, B, Miracle, C, No-Tail. Toby's team has already got an answer. Kyle, are you prepared to answer this question? Are we ready? Reveal your card. Oh. Reveal your card in 3, 2, 1. And Toby, you are correct. No, you're not correct. Kyle is correct. It is KuroKy. What? It is KuroKy that is the highest esports earning esports player, not just at this tournament. I believe he is highest in the world, but I'm not sure. Something like that. He done good, guys. He done good. Unlike
axe or fists, it changes nothing.
You guys win the box. The MSI mystery box is yours to receive and own. You can open the box. We are gonna get ready for grand finals here, so make sure you stay tuned here. Ooh, nice one. Make sure you stay tuned at ESL 1 Birmingham 2019 for the grand finals. See you soon.
You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now. Play.ESLGame.com.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
Think he can't shine through the dark? Stream a Roshan Steel in high resolution? And record a play for the history books? Watch this. Think he can't make a victory go viral? Watch this. Think a support can't be in the spotlight? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, a legend can rewrite his own legacy. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Remember where it started. Your first experiences. The journey you traveled. The journey you love. Remember where it started. And imagine where it will go. Rise on.
Takes? Sign up now for the Vodafone 5G ESL Mobile Open. Qualify for the grand final at Milan Games Week.
transformation in a can. Tastes like loser tears.
New Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Axe or fists, it ain't.
When I lose control, bad things happen. But it feels good.
Ladies and gentlemen of NASA, this is Charles Xavier. Help is on the way.
We're doing space missions now. Cool.
We get the astronauts, we bring them home. Go.
The heat signature's rising fast.
We gotta get out of here.
Where's Jean?
Where is she? Jean!
She should be dead.
Did you hear what the kids...
In the service of Salamene.
Phoenix.
Night Silver is saved once more.
You can't keep a demon down.
She'll kill us all.
The girl dies. She's still our friend.
She's not Jean anymore.
Are you threatening me?
That's right.
That would be a bad idea.